And guys, I want to experiment with this Wi-Fi in this area and see if I can't improve on the video quality of these live feeds. Yeah, I'm by an area that has free Wi-Fi, so I wanted to try it. And of course, we'll do a live feed about a topic here. Let me just see how I'm coming in. Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, that's good quality. I like that. So in this live feed, I'm going to take it advantage of once in a while you get to an area where you got free Wi-Fi that comes all the way into your car, whether it's from Starbucks. Tom, live again. Tom, you are snowed in North Carolina. I was looking at my news feed. I was in Starbucks recharging my phone. I love that I never have to pay for an electrical bill, and I have full electrical sockets to charge my phone and my laptop, and I have perfect Wi-Fi. Thank you. Yes, that's why I want to seize this moment. Yes, seize the moment of your life. Living 2 years in my car and having no utility bills, no running water, no electricity. And what I can tell you is it's a blessing to be free as a bird. I'm 38. I am thankful uh, for this opportunity in my life. And I have no lack. I have no lack. Again, I mean, I just charged my cell phone, charged my laptop, going live with perfect Wi-Fi, and I'm thankful. I was just talking to my mother, who's elderly, and you just gotta seize the moments of your life. There's some definitely things I want to talk about. James, what's up, man? Happy Sunday. God bless. Yeah, part of this live feed is going to be talking about church. Why? Because today's Sunday as a live feed, and I grew up in a Catholic church. My mom sung in a Catholic church, and I used to visit her every Sunday. I always felt God deep in my heart, even from a young age. And when I got into my early 20s, I really went on a spiritual journey to seek God because I wanted a foundation to build my life on. I know hanging out and partying, I knew that was a season of my life, but I knew I had to put it to an end. But I had to build up my confidence, and I had to build up myself. And part of that was seeking spirituality. I think you have to seek. Seek is the key word. You have to seek for you a spiritual foundation. And I did my own research. I read the Bible. I did different things. I read different scriptures. You can even do it more now because more stuff is online than when I started in my 20s. There wasn't as much online. And I got involved with a church, and the church was a blessing to me. And they really helped me grow. Eventually, I became disillusioned with it, but it doesn't take anything away from them. It's just you get to a certain point in life where it's just time to move on. And as I sit here on a Sunday, it used to be a burden. After a certain point in life, it used to be a burden to wake up on a Sunday because it was heavy church day. Uh, and especially as you get involved and as you volunteer in things, it just becomes a burden, not a blessing, period. That's it. There's no way to go around that. And then it's not good. Then it's time to move on. Um, and we'll talk more about that. Robert, what's up, man? Awesome. I didn't know you go live midday. Most times I don't. But it's a Sunday as I make this live feed. I don't have to do work. It's a little bit cloudy. And I have free Wi-Fi. So all things are triggering to seize the moment and go live and do magical stuff. Ice Jesus. Just took a shower. You got Ice Jesus in Baltimore. How cold is it, man? Just took a shower. And thought a shower is like life. Because inside hot shower, because stay in their comfort zone but don't want to leave. That's an excellent parable. And once you leave, it gets cold and you have to adapt. Excellent, excellent parable, Ice Jesus. When you're in a hot shower, and you are, like, especially on a cold day, you know, it feels like you're cuddled up and you're warm and you're cozy. And then you eventually have to turn off the water. You eventually have to stop having coffee and go for a walk. You eventually have to get your ass out of your seat and walk. But the comforts of your home, many people spend the majority of their life in their house, even at a young age. I did for many of my, even my youth. I spent the majority of my life in my house. And the shower is a small parable of that. And it's true. Then you have to adapt, because then you say, all right, I'm willing to feel pain. Adaptation means that you're willing to feel a little bit discomfort, evolve and grow. You're willing to feel discomfort that someone will never text you again. You're willing to feel discomfort that you're going to travel to an area where you don't know the roads. You're willing to feel discomfort that you're going to change jobs. You're willing to feel discomfort that you are going to start a business, you're going to start a YouTube channel, and you're going to be consistent. You're going to do different things in your life to grow that requires you to feel uncomfortable, to feel embarrassed. Going to church, when I was young, hanging out and then changing my life, was that uncomfortable? Yeah. Especially, going from a Catholic church to a non-denominational church, then going from, hanging out from the strip club, then going into church, all those different evolutions, then getting out of the church, because then it was like, now you're caught in this dark hole where you can't get out. The pastors won't let you out. You feel like you're in a cult almost, not really. But it's a constant adaptation. And if you aren't careful, you get caught in one season of your life and you don't grow. Why? Because you get comfortable and the people around you get comfortable of seeing you how they have known to seeing you. So all of a sudden you're not eating barbecue on Sunday night, you're not having pizza, you're not watching the football game. What happened to you? All of a sudden you're not hanging out with your friends, you're not smoking weed, you're not drinking. What happened to you? All of a sudden you're down in Florida broadcasting live, and you used to be in Jersey. What happened to you? I had to adapt and grow, like The Weeknd said. Thought I would break down, but instead adapted and grew. Good job. Cheesy. Amen. No electrical bill. I love it. I love living off the grid. Cheesy McStuff living full time in his minivan. I think he's in his 50s. Okay. I'm in my 30s. Cheesy, how old are you if you want to share? And what I could tell you is there's a lot of people down here in Florida living nomads. Why? The weather. Same thing as California, the weather. Now, some people living as nomads with no car. I mean, that's like another level. That's what I saw yesterday a lot in West Palm Beach. There's a level of homeless. Some of that is mental disabilities and things like that. Some of it is being destitute. But as far as people just saying, look, it's cheaper, it's freer. And look, I changed towns more than I changed my shirt. It's amazing. I mean, I like that. I like the freedom. And I'm going to seize this moment while I'm at this. So I like car living. I like it. And what I found with car living is many people who get anxious quick, who are creative, who don't like commitment, they're in this lifestyle because they feel that they are in a prison in their town, in their city. I like not having neighbors. I thought about that the other day. I thought about that as I was driving here. And I was thinking about what do I want to name this live feed? Part of it's car living, part of it's church. Car living, I don't like. I like the fact that I never have to deal with neighbors again. And I was blessed to have some good neighbors. But you feel like your neighbors are watching you. Like you go outside for a walk and everyone knows you're there. If you live in a community and you do a HOA, if there's one common thing in the community that everyone's going to have to pay for, it's like you're committed. If you have a bad neighbor at a campground, at a rest stop, you get up and you can go. There's plenty of campgrounds that I've stayed at. So, I don't want to be here anymore. And I got the hell out of there. Non-committal. I think non-committal people like living in their car. Non-conforming people. People who see society a little bit different. Not necessarily people who want the downfall of society. I don't want the downfall of society. I want Starbucks to be there tomorrow. But people who don't see things in a standard conforming way. They're a little bit different. But not different like where they're crazy. I don't like to use the word crazy. I don't say that. Because plenty of people I know live in their house. I'm not going to use the word crazy, but total disaster, okay? Most people watch live in their house. A lot of people come here with a lot of issues, okay? So please, total disaster. And, all right, let's keep going. Good job. Antonio, hello again. Antonio, thank you for coming in. You getting that Florida sunshine. Now, I know we ain't outside looking at bikinis, but I got a t-shirt on. That make you warm. Tom, I can send you a picture on Instagram. Yeah, please, because it's a disaster in Boone of where my car used to be like snow. Snow has buried it. I couldn't believe when I looked at my news feed on my phone that it was actually snowing in North Carolina. What an absolute disaster. It feels like it can't be winter anywhere else. Like, it feels like I'm in a different world down in Florida. I know that sounds strange from someone who lived in New Jersey for 37 years, but like in my mind, I can't, like, if you didn't tell me it was snow, and even when you told me like it was snowing in my last live feed, I said, Tom over there smoking weed with, Blanton and it, they're playing with the cats. You don't know what the hell he's talking about. It's not snowing. Then like I got live, I said, damn, it is snowing in Boone. I said, he's serious. What a disaster. Shelly, good morning. Shelly, rose to you. Blessings to you. Shelly would make a good... Oh, Mark, what's up? What's up, Mark? Good to see you. Shelly, you would make a good deaconess or a good usher. But then eventually you would get tired of it. And now you would be doing that. You'd probably be in an unhealthy relationship too. That's what I come to learn. Now, don't get disillusioned when you get into the church game that you think that people who are in church don't have problems. They have more problems than most people, but that's okay. That's why they're there. The sick, Jesus came to heal the sick, not to heal those who are already well. But sometimes what's going to happen is I want to share with you that if you go to a church and you see like the deaconess and you see different, you say, oh shit, they got their shit together and they're going to help. They're barely holding on to their sanity by a string. But that's okay. That's why they're at church. I watch plenty of people from Hollywood that they don't have faith. They're in all these different faiths. And I'm telling you, I watch interviews with them and they say it. They say they're barely holding on to their sanity. So people in church, like why they're in church is because they're barely holding on to their sanity. I spoke to my mom 2 days ago, who is 70 years old, who has diabetes, who doesn't take care of herself well. My whole family on her side comes from poor eating habits. One of my aunts died from obesity. So that's why when I get a little bit serious, I get serious as far as like I try to change my life and be healthy. There's still people that look better than me, that are in better shape than me. But look, I lost 200 pounds and I'm healthy, so I'm thankful. I'm not trying to compete with people who looks better, but what I'm trying to say is I take my health serious. And so my mom, has a lot of pain in her legs. She just got to the point where she can't work anymore because she can't stand her legs. She's 70 years old, okay? She worked her whole life, raised 3 kids by herself mainly, and still working at 70, okay? And believe me, she could have went out on disability. Please, total disaster. But she didn't, all right? So 70 years old, was still working at a supermarket. Her legs gave in on her. But now she's upset because she can't work and like her mind is driving her nuts all day. That's what happens when you get older. When you get older, your body breaks down. I feel my body breaking down now. I'm 38 and I'm in pretty good shape, but I feel it. I went to Planet Fitness this morning. I still feel my body breaking down. You should never go more than 3 days without going to the gym. So my mom was saying to me, Sam, being that I can't go to work, I have this mental anxiety. Anxiety is unused energy. I understand that. And so she goes, the only thing that's keeping me from killing myself is my faith. I respect that. Faith will help you. You need faith in life. And there may be a season of your life where you need to get involved with a church to grow your faith, to understand your faith better, not to mind fuck your faith, because that's very dangerous when you get into the church. Always remember, it's all about treating others and treating yourself well and loving God. That's it. That's it. That's it. Forget the religious dogma. Forget to do this on this day, do that on that day. We celebrate this. All you have to remember in faith. I'll sum up my 10 years and my 20 years of all my religious research. Treat others right and love God. That's it. All the other shit, bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. Treat other people right and love God. That's it. And God lives inside you. So God's not like some type of artwork that's a guy with a beard, from the sky putting down lightning bolts. Good job, Tom. Forgot it was Sunday. First Sunday I haven't worked in months. Tom, I can't believe it. What's today? Today is December 9th, 2018. Tom, feels like Friday. Until tomorrow, then it's going to be total disaster. Damn, I wish Friday was every day. But we're thankful for today. How do you avoid anxiety? Well, you let go of yesterday and you don't focus on tomorrow. You enjoy today. You make the most of each day, and that's all you can do. Isis. Oh, Robert. I skipped Robert. Sorry. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Yes, I like that. Good job. There came from a movie. At least I remember it from a movie. Maybe it was Stigmata. Stigmata, if you look up Stigmata, Stigmata, something like that. That was a great movie. I would recommend that. And that's basically what that meant. Totally agree with that, even though it has some other parts in it. Isis. 25 degrees, throw up emoji. Ready to watch the Ravens and Chiefs. Then do homework after. I'm not mad at that. For many years, I enjoyed living in my house, ordering pizza and watching football and laying with my dog for many years. And I can't begrudge anyone for doing that. But I have to share my journey on where I'm at now. But I love and respect that. And what I can say is most people will spend the majority of their life living in their house. They'll never experience life. But there's a season for everything. Just like the book of Ecclesiastes. That's why you should learn your faith. That's what he basically said at the end of his life. He wrote down that there is a season of life for everything. A time under the sun for everything. And final conclusion, treat people right and love God. That's it. Queen, hey Queen, cat face with the smiley emoji to you. Cheesy's only 47. Oh, you're a young man, man. No wonder you still got the annual pass to the water parks, man, and Disney. I'm not mad at you, Cheesy. Good job. Cheesy may get married again. He's still young enough to find another MILF. K-Box 99. Hey there, hey K-Box. Good to see you. Pace at the key. What's up, brother? Why are comments getting ignored? The only way comments are getting ignored, I don't see them on the screen, is if you use a curse word or if you use some type of thing like that. There's a filter and I don't see them on my phone. Being that I got good Wi-Fi, I can check them on my laptop that I'm looking at in front of my dashboard here on my car. Let me see if there's any ones that were blocked. See who's out there with a potty mouth. Do I see any blocked? No, I don't see any blocks. So I don't know why they didn't come through. Queen, how was your night last night? It was magical. Slept peacefully, slept for 7 hours. Again, I live in my car. I sleep 6 to 8 hours per night. Most people have a house, $1,000 mattress. They don't do that. Queen, we went to a Christmas dance. Well, that's exciting. Who'd you go with? You got a boyfriend? It was great. Beautiful day where you are. Yes, well, 75 degrees, a little cloudy, but I'm thankful for that. Queen, happy holidays to you. Same to you. I hope you enjoy them. Queen, did you ever get a new phone? No, it's slightly cracked, still working, and I plan to get a new phone in late April, early March when they come out with the new Galaxy. Currently, I have the Galaxy 9 Plus. When they come out with the new Galaxy in every year, they come out with the new Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy phone in March and April, and that's when I'll get a new one. Cheesy, just watched the new segment where it said 40% of people have no savings. I wouldn't doubt that. I've been there. And could not afford a $400 emergency. I can understand that. And appliance repair. I've been there. Total disaster. I had a house. I had to replace every appliance. And what I could tell you is I had a Sears credit card, ran that up to get a new compressor, and everything else wasn't inspiring. And he goes, I am shocked. I'm not. Didn't know how rough it was for some folks. I'm not. Total disaster. But it's all part of life. Work and spend less than you make. Not easy, though. I've been there. Brian. Pastor Tim Johnson. And I remember I watched one of Cheesy McStuffin. I went to Cheesy McStuffin's YouTube channel. He liked the video. Brother, who was that video you liked? I watched your video because I see, like, what videos did you like? You liked one video that there was some pastor talking about, like, the end days or something, old guy. And I watched that video. You had liked it. I forgot what the name of the pastor was. Brian. Pastor Tim Johnson at Orlando World Outreach. Check it out. I'm not big into the church game anymore. I don't like watching church stuff on YouTube or anything, but I appreciate and I thank you for recommending that and sharing that. Once in a while, even though I feel a little bit he's a crook, I watch Mike Murdoch on YouTube Live. And that's the other thing about church. You can disagree with them and you don't have to agree with everything. Just like I'm sure people watch my live feed. They don't agree with everything I say, but you take the good from what you can take from them and you leave the bad. And that's how you grow in life. You're never going to agree with somebody 100%. Now, if you constantly butt heads, get the hell out of there. But, if you can watch from afar and grab what you need to grab, do that. That's what I'm saying. Good job. Thank you, Brian. Peace is the key. What is your opinion on mobile home parks in Florida with communities that are 55 plus? Well, good question. When you buy into a community that is 55 plus, the houses are cheaper, but they're cheaper for a reason. The reason they're cheaper is because they have less of a resale value. They appreciate less. And in a baby boomer generation where the baby boomers are pretty much all retired now and they're starting to die off, when you go to resell or whoever, you won't go to resell unless you're going to die in that home, whoever you leave it to, or if you decide you're going to get out of that home, you're going to have a less of a resale value. I remember my father brought into a 55-year-old community in New Jersey, and he basically lost equity in it because you have in a capitalist society, it's all about buying and selling and the market, what's the demand? So when you buy a 55 and older community, and you go to sell it, there's a smaller pool of people that are 55 and older. Most people who buy a house are in their 30s. They're starting a family and they want to be by a good school system and good infrastructure. A good public school system and a good infrastructure is the main driver for buying a house. For most people, that's what it should be. So when you buy into a 55 and old community, you better get it at a very low price and you better not expect for it to appreciate because it's going to have a lower appreciation ratio. And you better pretty much plan to die there, basically. I see them here a lot. I'm not against them, but that's a negative towards them in buying. I see mobile home lots. Most mobile homes you cannot get a loan on. You have to buy cash because banks, they're too risky of an asset. They don't appreciate. And many mobile homes, they have land leases, meaning that you can buy the mobile home for $30,000, but then you still have to pay anywhere between a $500 to $800 land lease. Disaster. I wouldn't do that. I would only buy an RV lot if I owned it, or any type of mobile home lot if I owned it. But then you still have taxes and you still have HOA fees in many of those communities. You can't get away from that. So in most mobile home communities, most RV communities, they have, even if they don't have a land lease, they're going to have an HOA, a homeowners association fee, which is usually at least $150 to $200 per month in most of them. And then your property taxes are going to be, they could be as low as $400 or as much as $2,000 per year. So you have to consider, how long do you plan on staying in that house? Do you see yourself finishing your days there? If not, I mean, again, the school system, hospitals, and job opportunities and infrastructure is a main reason and a main factor that you want to look at when you buy a house. Unless you're buying it for so cheap that you're willing. That's the only reason I looked at that $25,000 RV lot, was because it didn't have good school system or good infrastructure or good job opportunities by it, but it was so cheap that I was willing, like, even if I have to sell it and I had to sit on it for a while, I would sit on it. But if you're going to spend $50,000 plus, and that's what most mobile homes are, then I think it's a poor investment. And I think on average, you will not make your money back. You're better off renting. And that's why they say, look, most mobile homes and most mobile home communities are basically people who are in poverty. Now, Florida is different. Florida's not like every other state. There's plenty of retirees that are in mobile homes. So I can't say Florida's a little bit unique, and I have seen some. But again, if I'm going to spend $50,000, in my opinion, I just don't see the reward there to own. Because I definitely would not buy anything that I don't own the land. Because if you're going to buy the mobile home and then still have a land lease, for me, I'd rather live in my car. I mean, and I prefer to live in my car. You have more privacy, you have more flexibility. But as you get older, you're not going to be able to move as much. But I've seen some, like in Lake Okeechobee, RV parks that you can rent an RV park for like $300 a month. And some of them include utilities. Now, Okeechobee is like in the middle of nowhere a little bit. But there's places that you can go that you can get an RV. If you like were just trying to live cheap, but you didn't want to travel, you could just rent. And if you were able to rent, like in Okeechobee, Florida, if you were able to rent an RV lot with full hookup for $300 a month, now it's not going to be nice, but you're within, hour away from the beach or something, right there, if you spend $300 a month for 12 months, what is that, like, under $4,000 a month? So you would have to live there for more than 10 years for you to equal $50,000. So it's like, and you have flexibility, after that, if you're going a month-to-month lease, or if you're doing a year lease, you can get out of there at any time. Living mobile, living in your car, your number one asset is your flexibility. If you really get in a jam and you have to move to a different town or a different state, you can take a job anywhere. And that's a huge asset to your career and your life, that you can take a job anywhere. If your parent gets sick and you have to go, guess what? Now you pick up and you go see your parent, or you go see your sick loved one. Flexibility is huge. And for me, that's what keeps me right now saying, look, it's still the best thing for me. Not for everyone. For me, I'm just sharing me. But I did look at the mobile homes. That's kind of my thought. Good question. So I got into a little ramble. Patience. Ever think of buying a mobile home? I just broke that down. No, I wouldn't do it, mainly because of the land lease, and I'd rather have an RV lot. I just kind of broke that down. I don't want to repeat myself. Some of them are going for $10K. $10K with a land lease, and that land lease is basically like rent, so I wouldn't do it. It's a deception. Most people who live in those communities are poverty-stricken. But you could say, look, most people that live in their cars are poverty-stricken. That can cut both ways. I'm a fair person. Look, you got to do you. What's the answer to life? Find what works for you and then do it. So I want to always make the notation from time to time that I'm sharing from my perspective what works for me. What works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. So it's a good question. I'm glad you brought it up. It's a great conversation. Thank you for everyone who leaves a comment because it helps this conversation. Thank you for everyone who clicks the thumb up button. I can only share my perspective and my journey. That's where I'm at now, and that's how I feel about it. Good job. Robert, Sam, what is the most important lesson you learned from church? Well, in actuality, Jesus. Well, the most important lesson I learned in life was from my mom, and she wrote, "Don't ever let anyone control you." She wrote that in her last will and testament, and she let me read it as we were preparing some of her documents. Don't let anyone control you. That came from my mom. I believe God lives inside my mom. I believe she's compassionate. What I learned from the church was faith is important, but don't mind fuck it. That's what I mean. After 10 years in the church, I'm very thankful for my pastors and everyone who gave me opportunity. There's a lot of little details that I learned, but the main thing I learned was that, look, Jesus summed up the Bible in two sentences. One sentence, really. They asked Jesus, what is the most important commandment? He said, everything written in the law and everything written in the books of the prophets can be summed up in one thing: love God and love others as yourself. That's it. And what does that tell me? What did Jesus teach me? What did the church teach me? Don't mind fuck religion. And many people mind fuck religion. And they didn't like that about Jesus. That's why they put him on the cross, because he didn't mind fuck it. You know, so I always think about that. And that's why I'm very inspired by Jesus, because I got a similar mindset. Jacqueline, good Sunday to you. Yes, it's magical to be live with good Wi-Fi. Damn. I love living mobile, and I love talking about church. In my car, I don't have to go to church. I don't have to dress up. I'm wearing no underwear. I don't have to be part of the collection plate. All I can do is just do this, and I can end it anytime. I can get the hell out of there anytime I want. I'm not listening to the pastor and say, oh, he's going to stretch this one out today. Like, if you're thinking I'm stretching out, you can get the hell out of here. That's freedom. What is love? Love is freedom. I posted on my Instagram. In some relationships I failed, it's because I didn't give that person freedom or they didn't give me freedom. Hard to love someone and keep intact complete freedom. Very hard. And you can't. That's why you can't be in a relationship and have your full independence. It doesn't work like that. And that's why I'm not in a relationship. If you think you can be in a relationship and be fully independent, you're deceived. Every relationship requires some sacrifice. Do I want that? I don't want that. Not worth it. Physical beauty fades and then all you're left with is someone to talk to. Do I want someone to talk to? No. If I do, I'll go live. Now, some people, they want somebody to talk to in person, not me. Good job. Brian, he's pre-Orlando services. Well, there is a lot of churches in Florida. Florida has a heavy, rich culture of Puritans. Who are the Puritans? The Puritans came over here from England, from Europe, because they were persecuted for their beliefs. And then they spread Christianity through America by forcing their will on the Native Americans. Now, the Native Americans were evil too, in one sense, because they killed each other based on human sacrifices to their gods. So they're both messed up. The Native Americans were messed up, and so were the Puritans, who forced Christianity by basically killing off the Native Americans. They basically said, look, you either, Christopher Columbus and all them, they basically got to that point. They said, look, either you're going to worship this God or we're going to have a problem. So what do I believe? I believe that the southern states, and definitely Florida, has a higher culture of Christianity and of being very outright with their faith. Very good intentioned people, and some of the civil rights movements and different good, healthy movements for society started with traces of starting from the church level, because the church is organization. What allows you to birth a movement? Organization. Why was the mafia the most powerful criminal enterprise in the entire history of human mankind? Because of organization. When you can organize a group of people based on fundamental beliefs, you can do more, even if people aren't that bright. Organization is the key to pushing something forward. Structuring it. Structure is key. But structure can be used for a bad thing, because it's also a way to control and manipulate. So it's a give and take. I believe in freedom, but you got to have some structure. It's a balance, delicate balance. And from the beginning of time, human nature struggles with one thing: balance. Why do you have 2 cups of coffee? Why do you have 4 slices of pizza? I do the same thing. Well, balance. It's hard to balance healthy. How much do you need versus how much do you want? We're constantly at war with the flesh. So you really don't need to be a gluttony. So if you're overweight and you're going to church, you're a sinner. Gluttony is one of the 7 deadly sins. The Bible taught us that. The Bible taught us being gay is bad. Okay, the Bible said women shouldn't speak in church. The Bible said slaves should obey their slave master. Do you believe in all that? I don't. I think for myself. I believe a man wrote that, put together by the Catholic Church. I'll think for myself. That was part of my discovery. Some stuff is divine in the Bible. I love the book of Proverbs. I love different writings from Paul, but I don't agree necessarily word for word, but I agree with a lot. A lot of things changed my life. The other part that changed my life was realizing that some of it was dogma. It's a balance. You can read the scriptures and believe they're inspired by God, and you can also believe in yourself and believe that you're inspired by God. That takes a lot of time, though. People don't want to hear that. People want Pastor Pat Tillman or Pat Johnson from Orlando Grace Savings with a glass church and all nice. They want him to give the message. I'm not mad at that. Jesus said, why don't you believe me? Because I'm not a fancy man dressed up in nice clothes and I come from the middle of nowhere. Yeah, why don't people believe me? Because I'm wearing no underwear. I'm broadcasting live from my car. It's possible. Good job. Snow Dog, that's my brother Snow Dog. School, kids, and job / work always keep you spending in the same neighborhood. Oh, that's very true. I totally agree with that. Yeah, basically, once you get planted in a school or in a house, you are not going to leave that community for a long time because it takes at least 3 to 6 months to buy and sell property. So for half the year, once you buy into a community, you're there. And it's not easy to get out of there, and people resist change. Like my man Tom was saying, it's a tough time for people to get out of a hot shower and go into their living room or go into their bedroom and get changed because they don't want to feel that cold weather. You know how hard it is to sell your house, change states, change school systems, change environments? Very hard. Very hard. A lot of adaptation. I give a lot of credit to some of my friends who recently moved. That's not easy. I know it's not easy. Very painful. And he basically goes, yeah, once you basically establish in a community of a job work, it always keeps you spending in that neighborhood. That's just the way the system is set up to drain your life. Well, yeah, it's also set up like that to build communities and to build infrastructure. It's a give and take. So it all depends on the season of life you're in, but that's an excellent point, Brian. Plus homeless community outreach services. Yeah, I did them for many years. I have my own nonprofit. I work for them. What I realized yesterday when I spent about a half hour walking through West Palm Beach and some of the poorest areas where there was homeless people laying right on the parks was you can give them free water. You can give them pamphlets about Jesus. You can give them homeless shelters. A lot of them don't want to go into the homeless shelters because I've been there with them. They feel like that's like constricting. They'll go there for the soup kitchen. For the soup, then they'll take their soup, they'll take their plate, and then they'll go into the park and they want to sleep there, they want to live there, they don't want to be conformed, they don't want to be saved, they want to be able to do them, they want to be able to still do drugs and not be judged. And when they're ready to get help, maybe they will be, maybe they won't be, maybe they'll struggle with their whole life. I know people in the church that struggle with drugs their whole life and they died struggling with drugs. So what I've learned is it's all a little bit meaningless. Help people when you can. But people want to be able to do them. Love is freedom. So love is you still love somebody if they still choose to be homeless, if they still choose to do drugs. Maybe they'll go to church and maybe they won't, but church won't necessarily save them. There's plenty of people in church that still do drugs. And then when they do drugs, they feel guilty. Like, I can't go back to church because I'm doing drugs. If you're overweight, you're doing drugs. Sugar is a drug. Gluttony is a sin. So please, we're all saved by grace. That's what I learned from Jesus. That's what I learned from church. I don't need to mind fuck it. Good job. Mark. Dalai Lama. My religion is kindness. I'm not mad at that. And my religion is the same thing mixed in with a little MILF porn. Why? Because look, everyone, what happened to King David? You guys love King David. He's in the Bible, right? Bible's uncorrectable. Basically, King David, who most people say was one of the best guys in the Old Testament, he basically committed murder. After he committed adultery with one of the soldiers that was working for him, he committed adultery with his wife, and then he ordered to have the soldier killed. A lot of people love King David, Star David, all these different things, right? Jesus came from the descendants of that. We're saved by grace. Okay. That's what I can tell you. Good job. Randon, has anyone ever told you that you kind of look like an older white version of Tupac? No, but I'll take that. That's a compliment. Thank you. Tupac was definitely, one of the people who inspired me. Robert, agnostic. I believe this is agnosticism. And being agnostic basically means you're a little bit indifferent. I don't like that word. You gotta be careful there. But yeah, it kind of like it's whatever. That's basically what it means. Seems more realistic and practical. You gotta have some faith though. That's why I'm not totally agnostic. You gotta have a little faith and hope. And faith is not totally understandable. So I can't fully go agnostic. I can't. I think the Council of, I can't say that right, Nicaea, ruined Jesus' pure message. That's possible. Look, there's a lot of different interpretations. Remember the telephone game from school? I'll never forget the telephone game. I think I was in like 3rd grade. And this was probably one of the best lessons I ever learned in school. I'm going to teach you right now. From grades kindergarten to 12th grade, here is the best lesson I learned in school. Here we go. In 3rd grade, the teacher says, all right, I want everyone to go to the front of the class. We all get up out of our chairs. And she goes, all right, now that everyone's out of their chair, I want you to form a U. Everyone stand on the walls of the classroom and form like a U shape. And once everyone got into formation, standing up, she goes, all right, everyone stay there. There's one person on one end of the U and the other person on the other, and it's a big like circle almost. Then she goes to the person on one side of the U and she whispers something in their ear. No, none of us can hear it, only the teacher and that first person on the end. And then she says, all right, now I've told this guy something. Now his job is to say whatever I told him to the next person in their ear, and everyone has to pass that along until it gets to the last person. And then when it gets to the last person, I'm going to have that person. Well, she didn't even say it. She just said, and everyone passed along. So everyone whispered in the other person's ear without telling anyone else what the message was. It got to the last person. Then the teacher asked, okay, do you remember the message that you were told? And she goes, and the last person, the last kid, I think he was like right next to me. He goes, yeah, I remember. He goes, all right. The teacher goes, all right, I want you to stand up in front of the classroom. This is called the telephone game. And I want you to say what the message was that I originally whispered to the first person in the U-shaped position. And the guy got up and he said the message, and the message was totally different than what the teacher told the first child. Lesson, many times, scriptures or education or any type of message is misinterpreted, is diluted, is changed through the transfer of information, through the translation of different languages, etc. But at the end of the day, here's the basic truth that is very easily, it can't get lost in translation. Treat other people right, love God. Now, if you mind fuck that, if you can't translate that right, you're never going to get saved. That's the truth. I hate to say it that harshly. But love, grace of God be on everyone. Robert, agnostic. Mystical teachers of Jesus. Yeah, as soon as I hear the word mystical, I get a red flag. Well, it's not magical. I mean, there's nothing like mystical. There's nothing like you can't understand. The understanding is, look, keep it simple, guys. Love others, treat other people right. Don't be a doormat. Don't be, people take advantage of your kindness too. You can't be too, if people take advantage of your kindness, just move on. Jesus said, if you put a blessing on someone else's house and they don't accept it, dust your feet from that house and get the hell out of there. That's what Jesus said. Jesus never said stay in the house even after they don't like you. He said take your blessing to each house, and if your message is not received, dust your feet. That's how Jay-Z got dust off your shoulder. Dust your feet from that house and get the hell out of there. I'm paraphrasing. Total disaster. Good job. Robert, not agnostic. Okay, I didn't know the difference. Thank you for breaking that down. Queen, I had a great day yesterday. Good job, Queen. Your home is comforting. This is magical, guys. A surfboard in the back and no underwear. And no one can say, look, you got to clean this. You got to do this pipe work. HOA is having a capital assessment. No way. Property taxes going up. No way. Yeah, but I move around a lot. A lot of people couldn't do that. So, dog, trying to break that sugar addiction is tough. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine. They got rats addicted to cocaine and sugar in a lab. And what they found is the rats wanted more sugar than they did cocaine. Not easy. He goes, I relapsed several times, but will continue to try my game. Yes, stay on your game. Look, how did I quit cigarettes? I threw them in the garbage. I went an hour later, picked them out of the garbage and smoked them. How did I quit, a lot of ice cream? I used to throw the mint chocolate chip ice cream in the garbage. Then an hour later, I go pick it up to see what I can eat. Trial and error. Fall, you get back up. Fall, you get back up. What does the Bible say? The Bible says fall 7 times, stand up 8. The godly may fall 7 times, but they will get up again. But the wicked, only one thing overthrows them. Robert, agnosticism is ancient Greek for agnostic knowledge of realization. Yeah, all you gotta do is remember, treat people right, and love God. That's it, Queen. You have adapted to that lifestyle. Yeah, I have. Thank you. Queen, Florida. Yeah, it looks good. I love Florida. It looks good on me. Thank you, Robert. Sorry, Sam. That's okay. I love you. I'm not trying to get comfortable. No, you're bringing up great conversation. So, don't take, how I'm coming across as anything negative. I'm just, I'm passionate. Just getting your intake. Robert, I love you, brother. You're my guy, man. You've always left good vibes. I'm with you. Cheesy. The 2 most important things I learned in school. Here we go. Don't have kids. That's number 1. Not like, Cheesy just got out of a divorce. He's not ready to he's not fully healed yet. Cheesy is about 60% healed. I think, he just helped him a little bit by getting an annual pass to Disney World and, living out of his car, but he's not fully healed yet. So, Like, I remember when they interviewed Mark Anthony after he got divorced from J-Lo, and he goes, they asked Mark Anthony, will you ever get married again? He goes, well, you don't ask a fighter after a 12-round fight if he'll ever, like, fight again. Like, he's totally beat up. So just take what Cheesy McStuffin's saying with a grain of salt, but I don't want to disrespect. Here he goes. Cheesy says the two biggest things he learned in school don't have to, number one. Number two, assholes come in all ages. Now, I would tend to agree with Cheesy McStuffins, but there's a season of life for everything. But look, I agree with a lot what he's saying. Random. Have you studied any other religions? Yes, to a certain extent. I mean, I can't say that I know everything about them, but I studied Judaism, the Muslim faith, Buddhism. Those are the major ones. I've had a taste of other ones, a little bit of Hinduism, and that's it. But look, at the end of the day, I'm done seeking. I seek for a while. At the end of the day, this is my conclusion of all religions. Love God, treat other people right. If it says anything else than that, I don't agree. That's it. Very simple. And I love Jesus, I love God, but if you don't, you do whatever you want. Tony, damn, Sam, you're live again? Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to go live probably one more time tonight too. Very excited. Dylan, good morning, bro. Starting to downsize you and get all that negative people out of my life. Well, that's the biggest downsizing you should ever do. Get people that don't vibe with you out of your life, which is most people, it seems like, yeah. Look, the obvious, if you go percentage-wise, you're going to be good friends with less than 10% of people you meet in your life. So you're doing the right thing if you're eliminating most people out of your life. He goes, it seems hard, but you got to do what you got to do. That's right. I posted on my Instagram. My Instagram is the word inspire_38. What's the key to happiness? Let other people do what they need to do to make them happy, and you do what you need to do to make you happy. That's it. Don't mind fuck happiness. Good job. Amen. Peace and love, brother. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Thank you. Like my man Milano said, look, because I had also posted on my Instagram last night, I posted like I decided, and I posted on YouTube too, that I've decided to be happy because it's good for my mental health. And Milano said that, and Milano, who lives full-time in his Class B down in Miami, he said that, yeah, I feel the same way until I do something stupid. Then I'm mad. Then I'm not happy. And I feel the same way. Look, as soon as like something would go wrong in life, I mean, certainly, all of us are subject to be broken. That's also what the Bible taught us. It taught us that Job, who was considered the most righteous guy, they took his health away and his money away for a long enough period of time that he eventually questioned God. He broke. Any of us can be broken, no matter who we are. So bottom line is, be confident, but stay humble too. Robert, Sam, throughout your life, have others told you you have a comedic wit with your personality? Yes, they have. I remember there was a shout out to that one friend, I think Jamie. She had said that one time on Facebook. Because I had met her later on in life, back in social media after I knew her in like high school years. She goes, Sam, you keep changing, but there's one thing like I always remember about you. You were cute, you were a little bit of a badass, you were funny, and you were a sweetheart. Like, that's kind of who I am. Pretty much. Good job. Queen. There are days where I feel my body breaking down a lot. Well, I hear that. I just felt that before I went live. I feel like when your arms are going to get flabby, and you're not going to have muscle definition anymore, no matter how much you work out, because your skin starts to fade and your skin starts to sag. I feel it already. It's part of life. Average life expectancy, 78. So you just got to seize the moment. Do what you can do now. Mark, I could see Sam walking into open mic comedy night. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it on the spot because I'm not the type of person like make me laugh. I'm the type of person like I'm like a Jerry Seinfeld. Like I kind of like just tell life how I see it based on my life experience. And some people get it because I'm just speaking on like real life. Like I'm not going up there like why'd the chicken cross the road? I'm saying like, look, I wear no underwear and I watch MILF porn. Now some people think that's funny. Why? Because they do the same thing. And I talk about dookie stain underwears. Why do most people think that's funny? Because they got dookie stain underwears. Very simple, Robert. I agree, Mark. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the compliment, guys. All right. I give it the best I have. I want to manage my time because I want to go for another magical walk. I'll try to find another good. I like having good Wi-Fi because the video quality is better. Everything's flowing better. Good job. Cheesy, dookie stain. Yeah, good job, Cheesy. Cheesy just healed another 5% from his divorce. Every time you give a dookie stain emoji, you heal from your divorce. If you've been divorced and you've been hurt in life, right now I want you to type in the live chat room a dookie stain. You'll heal 5%. How do you heal? Because laughter heals the soul. The scriptures tell us that. What did I learn in church? Laughter's good medicine for the soul. Right now, dookie stain. Snow Dog just healed. Snow Dog. He totally healed from his divorce. Oh, look at all those dookie stains. Yes. Oh my God, see, it's magical. I just saved your life, man. Well, not, that was God. That was the grace of God with a dookie stain, man. Good job, man. Cheesy sealed the guy. God, let's end on a positive note, man. I just gave you more than you can learn in 10 years in church. I just broke it down for you guys, man. Damn. I can't believe there's only 30 people in the chat room. That's why more people fucked up. They're watching Bob talking about free camping down in Arizona. They should be listening to me about dookie stains, man. Oh. James, love and respect. Back live, what's up, man? I don't know, man. The work is plentiful, but the workers are few. The scriptures told us that. A lot of work to be done out there, man. A lot of souls to be harvested. But there's not enough of us preaching the gospel of the dookie stain. Pray that the Lord send more workers into the field. That's all I can say. Robert, 'tis the season to dookie stain. Now, we don't want to get like disrespectful, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Say positive, Cokes. 95. What's going to be the total on how many miles you walk today? So far, I've walked about 3. I'll probably walk close to, what is it? Probably close to 8, maybe 10, but probably closer to 8 miles. Teresa, happy Sunday, all. Let's end on a positive note. Love and respect. That's it. Don't mind, fuck it. Queen, I love you.